What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, and this is going to be an exciting one because I have with me the S23 Ultra. I'm super excited to get this phone in my hands, and if you recently picked one up yourself, then congratulations on your new phone. And you might be wondering, what are some of the very first things that you should do on your new phone? Well, this video is for you because I'm going to go over a whole bunch of things that you need to do first on your new S23 Ultra. There's a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. All right, guys, now let's start off with the very first thing that you need to do with your phone, and that is, of course, to pick up a case, because you don't want to drop it or scratch it. That's really going to hurt you because you paid a lot of money for this phone and you want to keep it in good condition. Now, you can go with any case that you please, but I stand by these Spigen cases. I've been using these for a very long time. I had my S10 in these, I had my Pixel 6 Pro in these, and I have my iPhone 14 Pro Max, all using the Spigen cases. I absolutely love these cases. I'll leave a link to these in the description below if you want to check them out, but definitely be sure to grab yourself a case. The next thing you need to do is give your phone a name and make it yours. So what you need to do is go into your phone settings, scroll down to About Phone, and then up here, you'll see your phone's name. Now, if you just got this phone brand new and you set it up from scratch, it probably has a generic name that probably just says S23 Ultra. So what you want to do is just tap edit and then give your phone a name. Maybe just give it your name and then click done. And now your name will show up every time your phone is trying to connect via Bluetooth, and you'll be able to recognize that this is your phone. The next thing you guys absolutely need to do is sign into your Samsung account. And if you don't have one, be sure to create one. And all you need to do is go to your phone settings and then tap up here. If you don't have a Samsung account, it will ask you to create one. If you do have one, be sure to sign into it. This is absolutely crucial, and I definitely suggest you guys do this because if you sign into your Samsung account, you get access to a lot more features like the Samsung Cloud service, so you can store all of your photos online. You can sync and share data with other Samsung users and create shared folders. And most importantly, you can use the Find My network. So if you lose your phone, you can remotely track it, ring it, lock it, or unlock it, and even erase all the data if the phone becomes unrecoverable and you just want to wipe everything from your phone remotely. So definitely go ahead and create a Samsung account if you don't have one. Next, what we're going to do is supercharge our phone and make it faster. So what we're going to do is go into our phone settings, scroll down to About Phone, go down to where it says Software Information, and then find your build number and tap on here 7 times. It's going to ask you for your PIN. So enter your PIN, and now you can see it says developer mode has been enabled. So what you want to do now is just go back to your phone's settings page, and at the bottom you'll see a new option that says developer options. So just tap into here and then scroll down until you see the window animation, transition animation, and animator duration scale. You can see they're all set to 1x, but what we're going to do is go into each one of these and change it to 0.5x. And what that's going to do is make the animation speeds on your phone twice as fast. So anytime you're switching between apps or closing or entering apps, it will make the animation of opening and switching between apps a lot faster, so your phone feels a lot more snappy, but you still get that nice animation, so it looks just as good. The next thing we're going to do is change the default behavior of the power button. So right now, by default, when you tap and hold the power button, instead of giving you your power options to shut down or restart your phone, it brings up Bixby. Now, I personally don't use Bixby, and I prefer the old functionality of the power button where it would give you your power options. So to enable those, all you need to do is go into your settings, scroll down to advanced features, and then right here, you'll see side keys. So if we tap into here, you can see right there, it says press and hold instead of wake Bixby. We want the power off menu. So now when we tap and hold the power button, you can see we get those power options. The next thing we're going to do is customize what widgets show up on our lock screen. So to do that, all you need to do is go to your lock screen, double tap your clock, and then in here, you'll see all of the widgets available. You can go down to settings and then unlock your phone. And then you can see right here, it gives you all of these different options. You can kind of go through here, customize this to your liking, and just select what you want to show up on your lock screen. You can also reorder them by tapping up here and then tapping and holding on them and dragging them and changing the order in which they will appear on your lock screen. If you've never used swipe gestures, I highly suggest you enable them and get used to them because it is a much more intuitive way to use your phone than this legacy way of actually tapping on these buttons down here. Now to do that, what we're going to do is go into our phone's settings, go to display, and then scroll down to where it says navigation bar. Tap into here, and then you can see all of the options. So down here, you can actually change the order in which these navigation buttons will show up. Or what I suggest is you just go ahead and enable swipe gestures. So now instead of having to tap the buttons down here to navigate around, to go back, all you need to do is swipe from the side, to go back to your home screen, just swipe up from the bottom, and to go into your app switcher, just swipe up and hold for a second and you'll see all your background apps. I highly suggest you guys give swipe navigations a try if you've never used it. I promise you, once you get used to it, it's gonna make using your phone a whole lot easier and just quicker. And while we're on the topic of gestures, the next thing we're gonna do is customize our motions and gestures. So if we go back into our settings, scroll down to advanced features, right here you'll see it says motions and gestures. Go into here and then you can see we have a few options here. Now a lot of these are already enabled and I would leave these by default, but I suggest you kind of go through and read what some of these do because it does add a little bit more functionality to your phone. For example, instead of having to lock your phone all the time with the button, you can see right there, there's a gesture here that says double tap to turn on your screen and then double tap to turn off your screen. So instead of using that lock button, all you need to do is tap on your phone like that. And it just is a little bit easier, especially when your phone is just laying down. Instead of having to pick it up, you can kind of just check your notifications or go into your phone like that just by tapping it. So I definitely suggest you guys kind of go through that list and check it out. But one thing I would enable that's not enabled by default is this lift to wake. So you can see it says turn on the screen when you pick up your phone. Now I really like this because if your phone is laying there locked, instead of even having to tap on it, all you need to do is lift it up, take a quick look at it. You can see it unlocks on its own, and then you can put it back down and lock your screen. The next thing I'm going to have you guys do is go into your phone's display settings and then go to motion smoothness and decide whether you want adaptive or standard. Now, adaptive will allow your phone's refresh rate to go from, I believe, as low as 10 hertz up to 120 hertz. So if your phone is kind of just still, it will drop the refresh rate. But if you're scrolling around and using your phone, it will bump that refresh rate up and just makes your phone look nice and smooth. But of course, that will eat up a lot more battery. So if you're not really somebody who notices that really smooth refresh rate, or you just prioritize battery health more than that refresh rate, I definitely suggest you select standard, and that's going to save you some battery life. And the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to go back one in our settings, and then we're going to scroll down to where it says screen resolution. Now this phone has a beautiful screen. It is a big phone, but by default, it comes with a full HD 1080p resolution. So definitely what we want to do is enable the 1440p WQHD resolution, and that's going to give us the absolute sharpest image, sharpest quality on our screen. Is going to look absolutely amazing. Again, this will use more battery than using full HD, so that's probably why it's full HD by default. But if you want that absolute beautiful, most sharp screen, definitely go ahead and select WQHD. The next thing we're going to do is change our grid, and the grid is what decides how many icons we can fit on our screen. What we can do is just pinch on our screen like that, or tap and hold on it and then go into our settings. And then right here, you'll see it says home screen grid, app screen grid, and folder grid. So we're going to go into these. You can see they're set to 4x5, but if we want the most amount of space and fit more icons on our screen, we can actually select 5x6, and you can see they all get smaller and there's more screen space there. So we'll hit done, and then we're going to go back into our settings again, and then we're going to do the same for app screen grid. We're going to select 5x6, and you can see how many more icons it fits. So now if we go back, you can see that it fits a lot more icons on our screen, and in the app drawer, everything is a lot more smaller, and there's just much more space for all of our applications. And while we're on the topic of fitting more things on our screen, there's another setting we can change. So if we go into our settings, go to display, and then in here, you'll see font size and style. Now here you can change the font, so you can see you can make it bigger or smaller. So I would suggest going one peg smaller, and then we're going to go back one, and then we're going to tap on screen zoom, which is just below font size. And we're going to bring this down one as well, and you can see that things get a little bit smaller. And you can see that all the text and everything gets a little bit smaller. We can fit more on our screen. I just think that this looks a little bit more neat and a little bit more clean. But of course, if you have trouble seeing, you can always move that slider the other way to make everything a little bit bigger and make it easier to see. The next thing we're going to do is improve the video experience on our phone. So it's going to make watching videos a little bit better. So if we go to our settings and then scroll down to advanced features, over here, you'll see this option that says video brightness. Right now it's set to normal, but we can set this to bright and it will make the videos more bright. It will make the colors more vibrant and make things pop a lot more. And you can see down here all of the apps where this will apply. So you can go ahead and disable any of these that you don't want, but I don't know why you would do that. I would just leave these all enabled. Now when you're watching videos on YouTube or Netflix or any of these other applications, it's going to look a lot better. All right, guys, now this next setting is one of my favorite features on this phone, and it is the ability to power share. So you can charge any device by simply placing it on the back of your phone. Now to enable this, all we need to do is swipe down twice and then hit on these three dots up here and then tap edit buttons. Now up here you will see available buttons that are not actually currently in your quick settings. So everything that's down here is already enabled, but everything up here is all the extra stuff. So just scroll over a few until you see wireless power sharing. It's right there, and then tap and hold on it and drag it down here into your quick settings and then place it anywhere you want. So I'll just put it here for now. Now we're gonna hit done. And now when we scroll down into our quick settings, you can actually see it right there. Now, when we enable it, I can put anything on the back of my phone. You can see it says power sharing is enabled. So now every time I put anything on the back of my phone, like my iPhone, you can see it starts charging it. Such a cool feature. I absolutely love this and I use it all the time. All right, guys, this next feature has to do with the speakers. It is going to make them sound absolutely amazing. I really think this should be enabled by default, but what we're going to do is go into our phone settings, go down to sounds and vibration, and then scroll down to sound quality and effects. And then right here, enable Dolby Atmos and Dolby Atmos for gaming. And this is going to make the sound coming out of your phone sound absolutely amazing. So if you're gaming or watching any kind of movies or videos on your phone, it's going to sound so good. All right, so one thing you might not know is that the S23 Ultra actually has a built-in antivirus that we can enable just to give us a little bit more security. To enable it, what we need to do is go into our phone settings, go down to battery and device care. And then right there, you'll see it says device protection. It's off by default, but if we tap into here, we can turn this on. So we're gonna just tap on turn on. And now you can see we have this green check mark. Our phone is being protected and we can actually go ahead and do a scan of our phone. Definitely suggest you guys give this a try, especially if your phone is randomly acting strange or being slow. You can just quickly run a scan and it will give you the results at the end. So you can see no threats detected. So our phone is all good. If you ever swipe away a notification by accident before you were able to see where it came from or what it said, notification history is the only way to be able to check what that notification was in case you missed it. So to enable it, we're going to go to settings, tap on notifications, go to advanced settings, and then right here, you'll see notification history. So we're going to go ahead and enable this. Now, anytime you swipe away a notification and you need to see what that notification is, you can always come back here to notification history and you'll have your history of all your notifications in here. Next, what we're going to do is customize our always on display. So you can see that by default, there is no always on display. Your phone is completely blacked out and you actually need to tap on it to get your always on display enabled. And then you can double tap to get your lock screen. And then you can, of course, get into your phone. So we're going to go into our phone settings. And then in here, just tap the search icon and type always on display. We're going to go into here and then select always on display. And right here, instead of tap to show, we're going to say show always, so that when we lock our phone, our always on display is going to always be on. So the S23 Ultra is a pretty big phone. You can see that using it one-handed, my thumb can barely get past the halfway mark on the phone. And if I ever need to access any apps or any navigation or anything up in this corner, it's pretty much impossible with one hand. I would have to use two hands. Fortunately, there's a solution for that. And all you need to do is go into your phone's settings. In the search bar, just type one hand. And you can see one-handed mode right there. Just go ahead and enable this. Now all you need to do is just swipe down from the bottom here and you can see your phone kind of minimizes to this small little section right here. And you can completely use your phone normally and interact with everything. And it just makes one-hand reachability so much better. And then when you're done, you can just kind of tap anywhere on the open space and it will maximize again. The next thing we're going to enable is a feature that's going to help you sleep better. So if you're ever waking up at night to random notifications, you need to enable this feature and it is called Do Not Disturb. So we're going to go into our phone settings. Again, go to the search bar and just type Do Not Disturb and you'll see it show up. So just tap on here and then go to Do Not Disturb and enable it. Then just go down here and create a schedule. You can see by default, it will be enabled at 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. every day. But if you want to customize these times, just tap into here and then select which days you want it to be enabled or not enabled. And then tap into here to set a schedule of when it will start. So let's say you go to bed at maybe 12 a.m. You can set that to 12 a.m. and then go to end. Let's say you wake up at 8 a.m., set it to 8 a.m., tap done. And now every day of the week, your do not disturb will start at 12 a.m. and end at 8 a.m. And between these times, no notifications will come through, no sounds, no phone calls, nothing will wake you up. The next feature that I always enable on all of my phones is called Smart Lock. And what it will do is allow my phone to stay unlocked in a trusted place. So what I do is set my home address as a trusted place. And then every time I'm at home, my phone will actually stay unlocked. I don't need to enter my PIN. I don't need to put my fingerprint. It will just stay unlocked because I'm in a trusted place. To set this up, what you need to do is go to your phone settings, go to the search icon and type Smart Lock. You'll see it show up here. So tap on that and then go to Smart Lock. Put in your PIN and you'll see you have three options. You have on-body detection, trusted places, and trusted devices. Of all of these, I really like trusted places the most. It's just the most reliable and I've always used it. And all you need to do to create a trusted place is just tap add trusted places. In here, search for your address and then select your address right there. And then just tap select this location and then you'll see your address right there. And anytime you are in this location, your phone will just stay unlocked. And it is just so much more convenient than having to always unlock your phone. It is just always unlocked. Again, you're in a trusted place, so there's no reason for your phone to constantly be locked. All right, guys, next we're going to change our camera's default settings because these cameras are really amazing on our phone. And if you want to take full advantage of them, you need to make a few changes because by default, they are not set to the highest quality. So if you want to utilize that high megapixel count of your main camera, what you need to do is make sure you're in the Photos tab right here. Tap up here and then you can see we have 50 megapixels and 200 megapixels. So go ahead and select whichever one you want to utilize all those megapixels available to you. Then what you need to do is go over to your video and you can see that up here it's actually full HD 30 FPS by default. But if you want that 4K video or even 8K video that's available on your phone, you have to go up here and select it manually. So go ahead and do that to get the best available quality to you from these amazing cameras. All right, this next one is for people who use their phones with screen protectors. What you need to do is go to your phone's settings, go to display, and then down here at the bottom, you'll see touch sensitivity. Go ahead and enable this because it's going to make the touch sensitivity on your screen a little bit more sensitive. So go ahead and enable touch sensitivity and it will be sure to register all of your taps even with that screen protector. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is make our brightness control a little bit more accessible. So you can see when we scroll down like this, we have our quick settings here, our notifications. But if we scroll down again, we have our brightness bar right here so we can control the brightness of our screen. But we're going to make it a little bit more accessible so that when we scroll down just once, it'll be available right here. So what we need to do is scroll down again, tap on these three dots, and then go to quick panel layout. And then you can see brightness control right there. Tap into here and then just say show always. Tap done. Now you can see our brightness control is always going to be available to us right away when we swipe down and making it a lot quicker to access this. All right, guys, and there you go. Those are all of the things that you need to do first on your brand new Samsung S23 Ultra. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for future videos to come, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.